As we begin Holy Week, everything starts with a road leading into Jerusalem. The Gospels tell us that on Palm Sunday, Jesus approached the city. He sent his disciples ahead to bring a colt, just as it had been foretold. And then he does something unexpected. He rides into the city, not on a war horse, not in power and spectacle, but on a humble donkey. And as he enters, the crowds erupt. They lay their cloaks on the road. They wave branches. In Luke 13:35, they shout, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." It looks like a celebration, and in a way, it is, but not in the way they expected. Because Palm Sunday isn't just about what the crowd is doing, it's about what Jesus is choosing. And what he chooses reveals the heart of God toward us. The crowd sees a king arriving, but Jesus knows he's walking toward the cross. The crowd celebrates what they hope he will do, while Jesus is committed to what he has come to do. That's the tension of Palm Sunday, and it's where we begin Holy Week, because this moment reveals something powerful about God's heart. God doesn't hesitate to come close. Jesus isn't being swept up in the moment here. He's not caught off guard about what lies ahead. He knows about the betrayal and the suffering and about the cross. And still, he rides forward. In Luke 19:41, it says, "As he approached and saw the city, he wept for it." While the crowd is still celebrating, Jesus is crying because he sees what they can't see. He sees their need. He sees their brokenness, and he sees the cost of what is about to happen. And still, he doesn't turn away. That's the heart of God, a heart that moves toward us even when we don't fully understand what we need. Palm Sunday reminds us that God's love is not reactive, it's intentional. Jesus didn't wait for the crowd to get it right before he came. He didn't wait for perfect understanding, he didn't wait for perfect faith, and yet he came anyway. And that matters for us because really, we're not so different from this crowd. We come to God with our expectations, with our hopes and our assumptions about how he should work in our lives. We want the healing and the breakthrough, and we want things to change, and we want them to change right now. And when God doesn't move the way we expect, it can be confusing, sometimes even disappointing. But Palm Sunday reminds us that just because we don't fully understand what God is doing doesn't mean he isn't working. The people shouting, "Hosanna," were asking for rescue, and Jesus came to rescue them, just not in the way they expected. That's the beauty of this moment. God's heart toward us is not limited by our expectations. It is deeper and greater and more loving than we can fully grasp. Palm Sunday shows us a Savior who comes close without hesitation. A Savior who sees clearly and loves anyway. A Savior who moves towards suffering, not away from it, because he knows what it will accomplish. And as we step into this week, this matters. Because Holy Week isn't just a series of events we remember, it's a story we're invited into. A story that moves from celebration to surrender to sacrifice to resurrection. And it all begins right here, with Jesus entering the city, choosing the road, moving forward with love. So today, as we reflect on Palm Sunday, take a moment to consider this. God's heart toward you is not distant. It's not hesitant, and it's not uncertain. It is steady and intentional and full of love, even when you don't understand it. This week has a hope that begins with a king on a donkey and ends with the hope of an empty tomb. And that hope is for you.